Hello, my name is John Burris, and thank you for joining me today. This short video is called Fascia is Your Immune System. In this video, I'll be exploring the nature of fascia in the body, which is the largest organ in the body, and how it keeps you healthy. You know, health isn't just about taking your vitamins and exercising and going to the gym. Your health is determined by the health of your fascia, and we'll be joining the leading edge community today of people looking for new and exciting ideas, because most people are practicing what's called old anatomy. Old anatomy is based on hundreds and thousands of years old thinking. New anatomy takes us up to date, and it shows you how important your fascia is in your body. And in today's video, we're exploring the importance of fascia. And if you really want to be healthy, you've got to make your fascia healthy. So that's what we'll be doing today, and I'll be share with you lots of new ideas about how to stay healthy in your body and how to keep your immune system healthy by making your fascia healthy. You know, fascia, it travels through the body like a scaffolding. It's like the white stuff in an orange. It contains everything. It keeps us upright. It connects to the bones. It basically is a scaffolding that we wouldn't be standing upright without fascia. So it's a connection, and it also compartmentalizes everything. So when the fascia is healthy, you're more likely to be healthy. When the fascia starts to degrade, you're more likely to have immune issues and all kinds of illnesses and sicknesses, because your fascia is one of the most important parts of your immune system, and for the most part it's been neglected by the medical community for forever, because they look at fascia as waste material. When a doctor does surgery, they cut it open and they pull out the fascia, and they're looking for the heart muscle or the brain, and the fascia is thrown away like waste. It's the garbage of the body, according to the medical world. Well, in my world, the fascia is one of the most important parts of the body. It's the largest organ, it's the most abundant of tissues, and it's also a large part of your immune system, and we'll be exploring that today. For those who are new to the idea of fascia, here's a little bit of a primer for you. If you think about cutting an orange open, the orange part would be the muscles of the body, and the white part would be the fascia of the body. The fascia is what compartmentalizes everything. So like the white stuff in an orange, it keeps everything contained, but it also connects everything. So all the juice, the orange stuff, would fall out to the ground if you didn't have the white stuff in the body. Our human body is very much the same. The fascia goes everywhere. It contains everything. It makes compartments, and it basically does what the white stuff in an orange does. If you'd like to learn more, I've got a couple of great videos on YouTube. What is fascia, fascia and aging, and if you want a more in-depth study, you can follow me there. So basically, think about fascia like the white stuff in an orange. It's the white fibers that go everywhere in the body. So here's the secret to fascia. Fascia needs to be liquid to be healthy. When it dries out, you start having problems. So I like to think about also fascia to be like a gelatin mold. A gelatin mold, you will put oranges and grapes and cherries in it, and you have this liquid-based gelatin that contains fruits in it. Our fascia is much the same. It's a water-based liquid component. It's a bag of water, and it contains cells in it. And when it's healthy, your body's healthy. When it dries out, then you start having problems. And here's a picture of a gelatin mold. This is what fascia is like. It's a water-based material that when healthy, it's liquid. So if this, all of a sudden you put this gelatin mold in a pan in the stove and started to heat it, it would basically disintegrate. Well, when our fascia basically dries out, it disintegrates too. So healthy fascia is like a gelatin mold. It's liquid, and it's like a jello mold. So just like the jello mold, here's the way I like to envision fascia. Here's a bag of water. And as you'll see, there's cells in here. There's all kinds of cells and fibers in here. So it's a water-filled bag with cells and fiber in it. So this is exactly what your fascia is. So, for example, the white fibers in here are the collagen, which makes things stronger. And the yellow fibers in here are the elastin, which makes it more flexible. So strength and flexibility. You also have all these cells in here. And all these cells will be like lymphocytes and macrophages, and basically it's cells that gobble up pathogens, viruses, and bacteria. So the fascia, being a bag of water, has a numerous amount of cells in it and fibers that make it strong, make it flexible, and also these cells, lymphocytes and macrophages, which gobble up bad things in your body. So when the fascia is healthy, it's liquid and it works great. So that's the secret, is keep your fascia. So here's what happens. Here's a bag of fascia that's dried out. The cells are dry. It's lost most of its water. It's dry. So we have a healthy bag of fascia here, and we had a dried out bag of fascia here. So when it dries out, it doesn't function as your immune system anymore. So you're going to get sicker, and diseases like cancer will spread because the cells within the fascia can't work effectively now because you've dried out your bag of water. So healthy fascia is liquid. Dried out fascia is not healthy because you lost your ability for the cells within the fascia. You can't stretch, so the elastin fibers won't stretch, they're fused together. You're actually not very strong at all because the collagen doesn't work so well either. So when the fascia dries out, it's like your bag of water is dried out as well. So here's the interesting thing. Fascia goes everywhere in your body. It's a liquid medium. So two things happen here. First of all, it contains diseases. For example, if you have a disease in one part of your body and the fascia is healthy, it's more likely to contain and destroy that disease there because the liquid fascia is working. When the fascia dries out, that containment doesn't work and the disease spreads through the body much quicker because it spreads through the fascia network. So healthy liquid fascia contains disease. Dried out fascia helps spread disease because it can't contain it anymore. This explains why somebody's diagnosed with cancer one day and 3 days later they're dead, because it spreads quickly through their fascia because it's dried out and it can't contain it anymore. Now here's an analogy using the side of a brick and mortar building. We look at the bricks, but we don't look what else. So when you build a brick building, you put a concrete layer down with some metal and you stabilize the foundation. After that, you know what happens? You put a layer of mortar down and you stack a brick, and between those bricks you put another layer of mortar, and then on top of the bricks another layer of mortar. So it's really not a brick building at all. It's actually a mortar building because it's the mortar holding the building up and holding the building together. Our fascia is much like that. Our fascia holds us up and holds us together. And as you see, each brick is contained within a wall of mortar around it. Well, that's what the fascia does. It makes compartments in the body. And you also see how the mortar keeps going throughout the entire brick wall. It's basically, it's a long connection line zigzagging this way and that, and it connects everything. So it contains and it connects at the same time. Our fascia network in our body is much the same as the mortar in a brick and mortar building. It's not really a brick building at all. It's actually a mortar building. So the fascia system is connected to all kinds of systems. For example, it's connected to your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system drains into your fascia system, so they're connected. When your fascia is dried out and clogged up, you're just going to clog up your lymphatic system as well. So the secret is keep your fascia liquid and open, and all the other systems will have a better chance of working properly. What's also important is the fascia is the network for the chi or life force energy to travel through the body. So what is that? Life force energy, it's like a battery, it's like an electricity, but it's not actually electricity. So when the fascia is liquid, this chi runs through the body. So fascia can be compared to saran wrap. So when this is liquid, it's healthy. And so the saran wrap, for example, we took your spine. It wraps in and around all the different tissues of the spine. So when it's liquid, it's healthy. So the chi is like this electrical current that runs through the fascia when it's healthy and liquid. When the fascia gets dried out, the chi stops flowing. There's a blockage. For example, we see here, all of a sudden it stops flowing. It's called an energy cyst, and then you start having physical complications here because the energy doesn't flow because the fascia is dried out. So your immune system isn't just cellular, it's energetic. And so when the fascia is liquid and healthy, the chi or energy runs through the fascia. When the fascia is dried out, or you have an injury where it's scar tissue, the chi stops flowing. Now your immune system is hampered because you don't have any chi flowing through the fascia. So once again, your immune system isn't just about cellular health, it's about energetic health. Now the concept of chi and fascia and immune health isn't widely recognized or understood by medical science, but there is one scientist, James L. Oshman, who's done quite a bit of research. One of his books, Energy Medicine in Therapeutics and Human Performance, and he talks about how fascia is a three-dimensional tissue capable of intelligent communication in conducting electrical energy, but it's also important in gaining energy from the outside of our cells. So as you dive into the electrical energy part of the body, Dr. Oshman believes the fascia being healthy is one of the components to let this energy move through us. So once again, when the fascia dries out, we become de-energized and the chi can't flow. And Dr. Oshman is one of the first scientists to validate that. Another interesting thing that happens with fascia, when the fascia, basically it traps chemicals. So for example, if you're a smoker, nicotine or marijuana or other poisons, alcohol get trapped in the fascia. So that also doesn't make fascia healthy at all, and that also hampers your immune system. So you're going to have all these toxic chemicals, whether it's something you're deliberately ingesting or by accident, something in food. Your fascia will be basically the bag of water that traps that, and that's going to hamper your immune system. That's why detoxing might be really important, because your fascia traps chemicals in its bag of water, and it makes it toxic and it hampers how the immune system functions. Let's just recap here. So your fascia travels through the body like the white stuff of an orange. It goes everywhere. It holds us up. It's a interconnected web. It also compartmentalizes. When the fascia is healthy, it contains disease with its macrophages, with its lymphocytes, with its energy component called chi. When the fascia dries out, which happens to most people, it loses its ability to function as an immune system because it loses its ability to transport chi, the life force energy in the body. It also loses its ability for the macrophages and the lymphocytes to trap viruses and bacteria and cancers. So that's the big picture. So now what do we do knowing that? Well, most people do the wrong things and don't take care of their fascia. First, they don't know anything about fascia and they do the wrong things. So here's what to do and not to do. So a lack of movement is one of the ways that fascia deteriorates. You've got to keep your body moving in order to keep it well, but most people move the wrong way. So being a couch potato is one way that your fascia will basically deteriorate, but also being a fitness junkie or sports junkie will deteriorate your fascia too. So what happens is when you harden, tighten your muscles through running, aerobics, weight training, sport, you're shortening the fascia that surrounds the muscle. When you shorten it, it dries out. That's why you see so many older weightlifters who've been doing it for decades. They're shortened, they're dried out, they have a difficulty moving joints because their fascia is hardened and short. So long-term fitness will dry your body out. It will cause the fascia, the bags of water, to dry out and lose its ability to create an immune system. Injuries that never get taken care of. For example, if you had a sprained ankle from high school soccer and it never heals and you never do the right things to heal it, because most of us aren't taught what those are, the fascia will dry out and become like beef jerky. It'll be like concrete or petrified. And so it doesn't have the ability to work well because you're drying it out, because you never took care of an injury for years or decades, so the fascia can't work as your immune system when it's dried out. Stress is also the number one way too, because when you're under stress, stress isn't about chemicals. We're taught by influencers and medical doctors, it's a chemical experience. Here, take this drug, take these herbs, take these vitamins. The chemicals happen later. Stress is fear. When you're afraid by either something real, a hurricane bearing down on you, or you're late for work, or somebody stole your credit card, basically your body responds in fear, and fear will shorten your muscles and cause the surrounding fascia to dry out and disintegrate, and then you lose your ability to be an immune functioning creature. That's why people under stress get sicker more often, because their fascia is dried out, because their muscles and fascia shrink when you're under stress for long periods. So the secret is, it's not about taking herbs and vitamins, it's about doing yoga, or basically take a nap, or go back to bed and cry. A 2-year-old under stress will cry for 5 minutes and then reset their whole nervous system. Take the day off and go to a spa, get a massage. Take a 3-day vacation where you go to a hotel and sleep. You've got to eliminate the stress response for your muscles to relax, for your fascia to relax. Get involved in a yoga class regularly. Yoga stretches your fascia as well as strengthening your muscles and bones. With the yoga experience, you're making your fascia healthier, because you're liquefying the fascia as you're stretching through your tissues. So these are some important things you might want to consider. What most people are doing, they're destroying their fascia intentionally, and then they're destroying their immune system as well. So remember, to be healthy, the fascia needs to be in a liquid state. Whatever you're doing to dry it out will cause immune system disruption. So remember, this is part of the new anatomy. People wanting new and exciting ideas. Most people, the medical community, the sports community, the trainers, the influencers I see all the time, the millions of them, they're following old anatomy based on hundreds and thousand years old principles of hardening and tightening your body and just take supplements. No. New anatomy shares with you the importance of fascia, and fascia being an important part of your immune system. You've got to keep your fascia liquid and soft so the chi flows through it, through all the cells start to gobble up any pathogens that got in there, that any toxins that got loaded in your fascia don't stay there. So fascia is important. Be part of the new anatomy generation here, and this is a revolution in anatomy as we explore deeper and deeper ideas. So thank you for joining me today. Keep your fascia healthy, keep your fascia liquid. If you do the right things, it'll help your immune system. So fascia and your immune system go together like peanut butter and jelly. Keep your fascia liquid and healthy, and your immune system will be healthy as too. Thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe to my channel for new and exciting videos to come. I also have my website is johnburris.com. You can visit me there. I've got a great book called Return to Nature, The 5 Pillars of Healing. You can pick that up at Amazon or my website. Join me there for new and exciting information and be part of the leading edge community. Thank you.